we begin with Randy Newman, who I spoke to the other day.
You look like a princess the night we met, with your hair piled up high. I will never forget. I'm drunk right now, baby, but I've got to be. I never could tell you what you mean to me. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. You're the song that the trees sing when the wind blows. Your flower, your river, your rainbow. Sometimes I'm crazy, but I guess you know. And I'm weak and I'm lazy, and I hurt you so. And I don't listen to a word you say. When you're in trouble, I turn away. But I love you, and I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie.
Well, that was Randy Newman singing just for us on the Music Show on ABC Radio National. Randy Newman, thank you very much indeed, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It seems to me a typical Randy Newman song in many ways, delivered from the point of view of a character who's sharply drawn, somewhat extreme. How do they announce themselves to you, these characters?
They do announce themselves. It's through diction or something. My scientific method is that I'm just playing the piano, and some kind of figuration or something appeals to me, and I'll sing a dummy lyric, a few words, and sometimes it will be a line and where it goes. It's diction and syntax and what kind of vocabulary the person would have. I can't be more specific than that. It's not, if I could do it all the time, I'd like writing a little better. I don't know exactly.
But you're saying that you're saying that the characters arise from the music.
Yes, I virtually never have written the lyric first. Maybe 2-3 times.
Yes, but I thought perhaps you might have the character first. At least you might think that this redneck needs a song. Very
occasionally, I wrote a song I wanted to write about Christmas in a hot weather country. Yes. So I wrote a song called "Christmas in Cape Town." And I knew what that was going to be. It was a kind of a paranoia that people in their 40s, old potheads and surfers also, feel in the United States about just in general how things have changed. Music has changed. Everything's changed. In South Africa, it was a little scarier to the sky than it should have been. I mean,
yes.
So I knew that going in, yeah. But not much.
That song, Christmas in Cape Town, and Marie too, for that matter. I mean, they both They both go on what script writers are pleased to call journeys. I mean, they start one place and they end somewhere else. And so the sweet guy at the beginning of Marie turns out not to be so sweet after all.
He's not bad, but the big idea in there, really, to me, is that he has to be a little drunk to express what he thinks are his feelings.
You feel sorry for him, but you feel more sorry for Marie.
I don't know. I mean, his profession of how weak he is, and he's lazy, and he turns away. I don't necessarily feel sorry for either one of them. I mean, I can't see that far into him. He doesn't sound. He's making all these admissions, and maybe it doesn't obtain when he's sober, and he loves her. That's the only thing I could say for sure.
One of the things that I admire a lot about your songs is that you often get so far in such a short time. I mean, the vengeful God in God's song ends up feeling sorry for his creation, for the people who believe in him, and the redneck in Rednecks points out the hypocrisy of the northern states, and this all happens in 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, I believe in brevity being the soul of more than just wit. I mean, if you can do it that quickly, it's best to do so, I think. Every once in a while, you're a composer. Shostakovich sometime, he'll repeat something, and he'll repeat it again to the point of boredom, really, sometimes. But then he'll go past it, and so it justifies kind of that length, He'll repeat it past the point of where you're tired of it or where he's tired of it and make it an actual thing that he's doing. I don't know how clear that is, but
he sort of transcends the idea.
Yeah. So there's a justification for taking a long time to do some things, but a narrative is. I've written a song like it's one of my favorite songs actually is a song called "Davy the Fat Boy," which goes, "I've been, his friend." If there's any music lovers out there, since we were little babies. I was a comfort to his mother and a pal to his dad. Before they passed away, they say, take care of our Davy. You may be the only friend he ever will have. Davy the fat boy, Davy the fat boy, isn't he round? Isn't he round? Anyway, it takes a long time. I mean, it was the first arrangement I ever did. So I was so into writing for the orchestra that I tore the song apart so I could put this little Italian band thing, with a... with one of those imaginary, those F trumpets you see in scores, but you can't find. Yeah. And that kind of big sound. And then I first of all, I couldn't sing it. But I was so in, and, when you conduct an orchestra, if they're following you, there's weight to it. And it kind of slowed me down, and I got into it real hard. And then it's like building a little mountain you can't climb. But I don't think I take that amount of time to do a narrative now.
But it sets up the joke as well, doesn't it?
Because the grandiosity does, yeah.
Yeah, because then it turns into a Guess Davies weight competition.
It does. And I loved the sound it ultimately made. It wasn't worth like 2 weeks, but I did. I liked it so much. Many times I paid more attention to the arrangement. My family being so, having been composers, that maybe the song suffered, where I've over-arranged things a little. I hate to admit it, but I think it's possible.
Well, I was going to ask you about your arrangements and how the songs change when you do them. I've been enjoying the songbook albums, and you really feel that you're kind of face to face with these songs when
Yeah.
you listen to them. But they do change, don't they? I mean, when you do them with piano as opposed to doing them with a
Oh yeah,
symphony
they do,
orchestra, as you
and
write
some
them
of them radically so. Like that song was totally different. Was I've been his friend since we were little babies. I knew his mama and I knew his dad. Instead of I've been his friend, better, worse, I don't know, but necessary to me because it's what I cared about. I'd do an arrangement like Cowboy, cold gray buildings, where here should be. And I thought it was cheating to use a piano in a Western, outdoors. Pianos sound like an indoor instrument to me. This is like before Morricone, did Western any kind of way. And you learn to accept the electric guitar and everything. So
yes,
I wanted to I wanted to set up, in the first record I made, it was real important to me to have it be in a place that you could see.
I wanted to ask you about Cowboy.
Yeah.
Actually, and perhaps we could look at that song a little
Sure.
bit because it's always been a favourite song for me, and on the new songbook it's a sort of heartbreaking moment, and actually Randy, it's partly because the orchestra's gone and it's just the piano playing those sort of white note Aaron Copland chords.
Yeah, no doubt. I've never lost my affection for that straight kind of vanilla. I can do it if you like.
Yeah, I'd love you to do it. Yeah.
Cold gray buildings, where here should be steel and concrete closing in on me. City faces, haunted places I rode alone. Cowboy, cowboy, can't run, can't hide. It's too late to fight now. I'm too tired to try. Wind it once blew free, now scatters dust to the sky. Cowboy, cowboy, can't run, can't hide. It's too late to fight now. I'm too tired to try.
You're listening to The Music Show on ABC Radio National, and that was Randy Newman singing for us, Cowboy. Thank you very much for throwing that one in.
That's a pleasure.